Alrighty, it's Saturday on Spotify, Sunday on YouTube. So welcome back to the weekly wrestling recap from the Figures of Flippy Shit Wrestling podcast. It's a big week. There are 3 events this weekend. There's Night of Champions, there's Battleground, and there's Double or Nothing. So if you like wrestling, this is a good weekend to be a fan.
Yes.
There's a lot going on. We are only going to watch 2 of the events, so we're not going to watch Night of Champions, but I am going to follow the results and see what happens.
Because it looks like a good.
It does look like a good card. I would love to watch it just if it wasn't in the Shadowland of Saudi Arabia. But we'll go ahead and get started and break down what happened with the week. All right, so we'll start with the Bloodline because there was some progression with the Bloodline story. On Raw, there wasn't really much advancement. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Riddle fought Imperium, which
they did dedicate their win to the Usos, though.
Yeah, they said the greatest tag team, the Usos.
Yeah.
So, it's funny because Kevin and Sami are just, picking that scab. And from the main event segment on SmackDown, you could tell that Kevin Owens is having so much fun picking the scabs of the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Before, he wanted to be done with them, but now it's he's there, he's ready to just troll them.
Yeah.
So it's circled around for him to where it's okay, this is fun. I like picking this. Especially some of the reactions, the reaction shots of some of the people on SmackDown were brilliant. The way it was set up. So, like I said, we had the match on Raw, but I want to skip to what happened to SmackDown because that's where all the interesting shit happened.
Yes.
So, it was a story that ran throughout the night because we had Roman and Paul Heyman and Solo and the Usos all in the locker room. And Roman's just sitting there. Everybody in there looks like they're just ready to be scolded.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like they're they're tired of walking around on eggshells.
Yeah.
So Roman kicked out Jimmy and Jay because Jimmy has started to show some attitude towards Roman.
Yes.
Jimmy has had all he can have, which is interesting because it kind of felt like that was going to be Jay. But I like that we've changed it up because we've already played the game of Jay being defiant. That's how this whole thing started. So I like that we've kind of come full circle to Jimmy. The only one that hasn't wavered is Heyman and Solo.
Yeah.
But even Solo, I think, is getting a little annoyed. So the main event segment was the KO show. And the guests were supposed to be Roman and Solo. Well, the Usos come out. The Usos start talking a bunch of trash. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn pretty much are telling them, you're the greatest tag team in the world. What the hell are you doing? Why are you so Roman's lackeys? And Jimmy hit the nuclear button, which made everybody panic. Because Jimmy said something to the effect of, when it comes to day one, I'm the tribal chief. I'm the damn tribal chief. And it was perfect because everybody's face went cold, and then Roman's music hit, and Paul Heyman starts to panic. Jey Uso has an oh shit look on his face.
Yes.
Kevin Owens is laughing, because he knows what was gonna happen.
Yes.
And Roman comes out, and Roman is just not pleased.
Happy.
Not pleased. He comes in, he takes Jay's mic, throws it.
Yeah.
Takes Jimmy's mic, throws it. So Sammy starts talking to him, and Sammy says, it's all falling apart, and this is your fault. And Roman just smacks the mic out of Zayn's hand, and then Owens just, kind of grabbed him by the shoulder and was just like, hey, Roman, stunner. And then, all hell broke loose, and everybody fought. And then we get to the end, and Jay gives the tag titles that are left on the ground, he gives them to Solo.
Yes.
Roman walks up to Jimmy, wanting Jimmy to give him the titles, and Jimmy won't do it.
He will not. No.
Jimmy will not do it. And finally, Jay has to get the titles from Jimmy, and then he even kind of hesitates to give them to Roman,
He did,
but they do. So I think, man, this is one of the reasons I wish that Night of Champions wasn't in Saudi Arabia, because I feel like this is going to explode today.
I know.
And I want to see the explosion.
I mean, I'm sure we can just watch this somewhere, match somewhere.
But I am concerned that they're going to go ahead and take the titles off of Sami and KO so that the Usos and Roman and Solo have the titles to fight for. I don't think that fight needs the titles. Yeah. I think the titles could be their own thing. And we've kind of built some challengers for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because Imperium's kind of sniffing around. And the Judgment Day has been sniffing around as well with Balor and Priest.
Yeah.
So they have some built challengers. So I'm hoping that they don't take the titles off of Sami and KO. But at the same time, it is Roman Reigns. And he doesn't lose that often. But they have shown that they're willing to have him lose by having somebody else take the fall, like when this kind of started spiraling downhill when Sammy lost on SmackDown right at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes, but it definitely feels like this bloodline stuff is coming to a head.
Yes.
And I think I saw something yesterday that said that that Cody is still the end game for Roman, and their WrestleMania 40's being talked about, but also SummerSlam's being talked about. I think you got to do this at SummerSlam. I think you need to have Cody finish off Brock, and then I think you need to have Cody do it at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to have enough steam to carry it all the way to next year's WrestleMania.
Like,
I just don't.
I get that they think that Roman is like the end all be all, but I think some fans are starting to get tired of Roman being the end all be all.
Yeah. And Roman already has this 1,000-day celebration next week for his world title, so that could kind of distract him from the fact that he didn't get the tag titles, but he could still be furious with the Usos. Because Paul Heyman told them, he's like, the Tribal Chief's inviting you to come. And it's like, oh, cool, he invited his own family. What a nice guy. So I could see them having their invitation revoked. I could see them just no-showing. But we'll see. But I don't think we need to sacrifice Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for that. I understand that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens probably aren't a long-term tag team champion because they kind of came together out of necessity. It wasn't necessarily on a quest to win the title itself. So I could see a heel team kind of taking them out to do that. Balor and Priest, I think, would be good choices.
Yeah.
Imperium also would be good choices, except for the fact that Kevin and Sammy already had a match with Kaiser and Vinci, and it went around about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't think Imperium is that big of a threat, plus Gunther's a big enough threat for everybody. So I would probably have it go to Balor and Priest and start letting the Judgment Day collect gold.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yes.
So we have that. Plus, I think it'd be a really fun story if the Judgment Day collecting gold, if that meant that Dominic decided he wanted to go for the the Intercontinental title, and then we could just watch Gunther murder Dominic, and that would be fun. So, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that.
Yes.
The next big story that WWE's pushing, and I know it's a big story because there were 2 recaps on SmackDown of this story that is completely taking place in the world of Raw. WWE, stop it. You have 2 separate shows. Why don't we push some talent instead of doing a video package for the people that play on Monday? So, Brock...
he attacks Cody as soon as the show starts.
Yeah.
As soon as Raw started,
and he
Brock
uses
attacks Cody.
Yeah, and he uses like a beer keg to break Cody's arm.
Yeah.
Cody still comes out and wants to fight.
He comes out in the ring still. It's like this huge dramatic thing.
It is. And when Cody's involved, it's drama city.
It is, because Cody's yelling at everybody backstage. He won't let anybody come to into his his locker room. Mm-hmm. Like, it's this whole big deal where was it how the show ended?
Yeah, the last thing.
But it was so dramatic that Triple H had to actually come to Cody and try to get him not to compete.
Yeah, and Triple H was just like, nobody's questioning your toughness.
Yes.
No one's. And Cody's just telling Triple H, you fought Brock Lesnar, hurt. Nobody stopped you from doing it. But it's interesting. I think this is the first on-screen interaction we've had between Triple H and Cody.
I know you geeked out a little bit.
Yeah, because it's interesting. Because
you were like, he broke his chair.
He did. He broke his throne. He broke his throne.
You did say throne. I didn't mean to say chair.
Yeah. So I guess that Triple H put a tweet out yesterday, I think, that said, even if Cody does have a broken arm, the match is still on. So I'm thinking this is a way for Brock to get his win back, and I think they're going to have a final match at either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. But we will see where that goes. But I don't think Cody's going to win today. I don't think Cody's going to win Night of Champions.
I don't know. I didn't think he was going to win the first time, and he did. So I'm really not sure.
It's hard to tell. It is really hard to tell.
Yeah.
But those are your kind of 2 big WWE stories going right now. So that kind of covers those. So I think now we can start getting into a little bit of the other stories.
Yeah.
All right. So with the World Heavyweight title picture, it's kind of been in neutral since we found out who the challengers are. Rollins has been off filming Captain America, so they ran the other half of his vignette this week. Mm-hmm. I really like the vignette that they put together for him.
Yeah.
With like the career retrospective, and I like that like Moxley's in it, like kind of here and there. They don't draw attention to him, but he's there.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to know that like those three, like when you look at how they are today,
the Shield,
and then you look at the Shield, what a faction!
Yeah,
because those three guys are like main event level.
Yes.
It's just crazy, and the fact that Moxley literally is the ace of an entire other company, which is crazy.
Yes.
So that's kind of what's going on there. Styles fought Karrion Kross this week and won. Karrion Kross is starting to get to the point where he loses enough to where he doesn't seem like really a credible threat anymore.
No.
Which is a shame because that entrance belongs to somebody that's like end boss level, like Gunther or Roman.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some people say it's kind of hokey where Scarlett, pantomimes the words. I think it's fine. I think it's a fire entrance myself.
What does that mean, hokey? They want her to really sing it?
No, it's just like her not do that, I guess is the thing.
That's what she did in NXT and it was pretty badass.
Yeah, I mean, it's their thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. The U.S. title picture. So Theory fought Sheamus this week,
yes.
And we're sticking to the theme of, except for the John Cena match, Theory wins because his opponents have enemies.
Yes.
So Pretty Deadly stuck their noses in and screwed this one up.
I love Pretty Deadly.
So we're definitely continuing to build with Pretty Deadly and the Brutes, which is a fun little feud to put together. It's a very British feud.
It is, but I'm here for it.
So Theory retained from Sheamus, and it didn't really seem like we kind of decided what we're going to do next, because Sheamus just kind of got with the Brutes, and like, you said off camera, like, Sheamus put his arm around Butch, and Butch, like, shoved it off.
Yeah.
Because Butch is pissed. But, so, I don't know what Theory's next challenger is going to be. Mm-mm. I beg you, of everybody on that SmackDown roster, please do not let it be Bobby Lashley. Please do not let it be Bobby Lashley.
No, yeah.
If we run Theory and Bobby Lashley again, I might drive my head through a wall.
Oh,
so I'm kind of done with that.
Yeah.
As far as the women's championships, there wasn't much progression this week. Rhea, I said last week that Rhea had no challengers. Natalya called out Rhea. That I didn't even remember that happened. But they're going to have a match at Night of Champions. So I'm guessing that's a, hey, Natty, you're a great hand. Here's a nice big fat Saudi paycheck for you.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Natty. She just hasn't been built up as a threat.
Yeah.
So I figure Rhea will probably destroy her. And then Bianca and Asuka, they're kind of doing the same thing. Asuka's being a little shifty. Bianca's being confident.
Yeah.
We
always do.
Yeah, we saw this record before WrestleMania 39, so there's not much to go into with that.
No.
And I wish I could give more time to the women, but honestly, NXT, between AEW and WWE and NXT's really the only ones that have like done enough to foster conversation this week.
Very true.
The women's tag titles honestly are weirdly booked to be bigger deals than the singles titles, I feel like at this point.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the women's tag titles have been consistently on TV now for a couple months.
Yeah. Well, we found out that Liv's injured.
Yeah.
Which I know, I think we did that last week.
She has a torn rotator cuff, I think is what she has.
So
hopefully Liv gets better.
Well, we found out that Raquel's new partner
is Shotzi.
Yeah, in that four-way match.
Yeah.
Is it at
next week? It's on Raw next week. Yeah.
Okay.
And Shayna and Ronda Rousey are probably going to win that.
Oh, for sure.
And honestly, I kind of, with the teams in there, I kind of feel like they should.
Yeah.
It beats Ronda being in the singles picture.
Yes.
I'll say that.
But there was more, though, on SmackDown. Doesn't really, it kind of relates to the SmackDown, or not the SmackDown, the tag team women's titles, but like, Io was the reason that Bayley was pinned by Raquel in the match that they had. So it was Raquel and Shotzi versus Bayley and Io. And Io did this move.
She did a senton on Raquel while Raquel was sitting up. And instead of Raquel falling back, she went forward and pinned Bayley, and Bayley got pinned. It was definitely done by design. It looked kind of wonky, but I think it's because it's a finish they haven't really gone with before, so I appreciate that they tried to do something different.
Yeah.
I think that's a finish that if you could polish it up a little bit would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think for not really doing it and how it came out, I think it went fine. because I understood what happened. I didn't think anybody screwed up or anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was an interesting finish. I like that they wanted to do something different. I like when WWE kind of shows a little bit of their NXT experimental side. I'll never turn that down. So this has nothing to do with the title, but I just wanted to mention this. I feel like it's going to be a pretty awesome week because, guys, Chad Gable and LA Knight both won a singles match this week. Like, I don't know if the stars are aligning. I don't know, like, if there's gold that's about to come out of the ground. But the fact that Chad Gable and LA Knight got singles wins this week just warms my heart so much. And WWE, I know I shouldn't post a lot. I know I shouldn't cuss a lot on this podcast, but fuck you for trying to ruin LA Knight's pop with that pre-taped SmackDown crowd pipe noise bullshit.
Yeah.
LA Knight's over. Let him be over. The crowd loves him. I love him. Just let him be. I mean, do you know how fun it is that whenever he does the LA Knight thing, the crowd knows just where to drop those yas.
Yeah.
Like, you would think, if you listen to the crowd and didn't know anything about LA Knight, you would think he was one of the biggest baby faces on the roster at this point.
Yeah, you would.
And it's amazing. Like, at least make him a tweener. Like, give him the same path that you gave The Rock.
Yeah.
You know,
you saw, where did you read it on Reddit? Somebody had put that he's literally...
Somebody on Reddit commented that he talks like Stone Cold with the charisma of The Rock. And I think that is a great way to kind of summarize LA Knight.
So whoever said that,
yeah,
you were correct.
I feel like that's
we
spot
agree.
on. I feel like that's spot on. I say it every week. I'm going to say it again. LA Knight for Bloody Money in the Bank, please.
Well, he's in a match.
He's in a qualifying match against Montez Ford.
So
and Montez Ford they seem to want to push Montez single, but they kind of keep him with Dawkins because remember Montez did the Elimination Chamber match for the U.S. title back in February. So I really could see Montez winning this. Please don't. Please let LA Knight be in the Money in the Bank match. And let LA Knight win it.
I do really love LA Knight on the mic.
Yes. Him with the briefcase, like, I want it.
Yeah.
I want him to go out there. I want LA Knight to go poke the Roman Reigns bear, especially the unhinged angry king Roman right now.
Yeah.
I want LA Knight to go in there, and I want LA Knight to just start picking scabs at Roman. I don't think he's going to beat Roman. I don't think he should beat Roman. He hasn't been built up to that level yet. But it would be kind of fun for LA Knight to just kind of poke him a little bit. Like, hey, I got this. And Roman to just be like, of all the things, I don't want to fucking deal with this guy. Like, I want that in my life.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some NXT. Well, no, before that, Trish and Becky are official. They're going to be at Night of Champions. Trish and Becky did a pretty good promo against each other in the ring.
I liked the promo.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good segment.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good match. Trish has it just enough, I think, to make the match fun. Becky Lynch is always a good time, so I think the match will be fine.
Yeah.
And the other thing...
Shinsuke and
Balor had a match on Raw, and it was pretty good. Balor won.
So he's continuing to win, which I'm happy if Finn Balor's getting more of a push.
Yeah, and they were talking about... Corey Graves said on commentary, he said he wouldn't be surprised if before long Finn Balor started sniffing gold. And I do think Balor's going to return to the world title picture.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that would be fine. Like I said, I think Judgment Day needs to take... Since they're still intact after the draft, I think it's time we start putting some gold on the Judgment Day. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that includes putting... I love Dominic, but I don't know if he... I don't know if he should have a title, but the other two, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, absolutely.
No, I agree. That's why I think Dominic should get a little cocky for his britches.
No, that's true. You did say that.
And go for Gunther just to get mauled. Basically, because honestly, I want to stare down between Rhea and Gunther.
I know.
I want that.
I love whenever Rhea stands down like the big, scary
and I want WWE. And this is going to sound really bad, but it's not. Because intergender wrestling should be a thing. Because if women and men are equal, then they should be able to equally compete.
And plus, they're both trained.
I want Rhea to take a Gunther chop more than I wanted anything in my life, and I want her to no sell it.
I think she could do that.
I want her to kind of and then just come back in his face.
My favorite interactions that she's had with the male has been with Solo. Because they refuse to let her get too close to him. Like, if she's staring him down, they move him. Like,
and then she moves with him.
Yes.
And Solo's
so
just like, enough of this.
I know. I love it. Yes.
I do like their interactions together.
Yes.
So now we have some NXT call-up updates. Not many, but we do have a few.
Yes.
So with the NXT call-ups this week, Zoe Stark, she had a match with Candice LeRae.
And they're really pushing her because she had like a video package and
they seem to make her want to make her a big deal.
And she said that she was going to take on all the women. She was going to destroy them, and this was Zoe Stark era was going to begin.
Yeah. Well, Zoe Stark won the match because Nikki Cross got overzealous and celebrating.
Yes. So like, where has Nikki Cross been?
I think she's just like this. I think she just kind of comes out of the wall whenever they need her for something. Like, I think she just kind of hangs out.
Because they keep acting like they're building this friendship with her, but it's not every week. It's sporadic. Like, are you gonna have her do this friendship thing or not?
I really feel like they're gonna tie her into the way somehow.
And that's fine. Just let's not have her disappear for a couple weeks, then bring her back. And then have her disappear again. That was my one critique. I really like Nikki Cross. I like Candice LeRae.
You know, there's one thing that they could do to make it worth it that she just sporadically shows up. And this is totally stupid. Please don't do this, WWE, because this would be for my entertainment and my entertainment alone.
Yes, WWE, I know you listen to this podcast.
But I think it would be funny if the Nikki Cross sporadic things were explained because she was such a loner that literally they left her at the building the week before.
Oh my god!
And like she just like it shows her like wandering out of like the building from last week, and she's just like,
oh, poor Nikki Cross.
But I think that would be funny, but don't really do that because it would be really stupid. But I would think it's funny. Apollo Crews, Dominic Mysterio decided to pick that fight, so him and Rhea kind of teamed up and took down Apollo. Well, Dominic had a match, Rhea got involved, Dominic won.
Because of Rhea.
Yeah, because of Rhea. But
it was in no way like a clean win. Like,
no,
I do feel like Apollo, he got to shine, you got to see that he was good, and Dominic got to take the heat.
Yeah. Yeah,
so it was a good match, I feel like, for what it was worth. For what it was meant to do, it was good.
Yeah, I don't really know what they're going to do with Apollo Crews, but we'll see. One glaring omission this week, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember seeing any JD McDonough stuff this week. And that's a crime.
No.
That's a crime. JD McDonough should be on TV every week.
I know.
We did get some Cameron Grimes on SmackDown. He squashed Baron Corbin last week. He had a competitive match this week with Ashanti the Adonis. Yeah. And Hit Row and Michael Cole took his shots at Hit Row like he always does. Michael Cole was so cross during this match about Hit Row being out there. Like he's like, they're not supposed to be out here. Like, Michael, I love that. Like I love that Hit Row just eats at Michael Cole.
And it all started because
I just want
Tom Dollar went over the rope. That's when it all started.
It is. I want a backstage segment. Once again, don't do this. This is for my entertainment alone. I want a backstage segment where Michael Cole's sitting in catering. He's just like eating pasta. We'll go with pasta. And he's sitting there eating his pasta, and Hit Row just walks in, and he just starts going. He's just so mad and eating his pasta. Once again, don't do that. That's for my entertainment benefit alone. We got a video package for the unholy union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And I'll ask the question again. What the hell are we doing with the NXT tag titles?
I think that's in question for a lot of women's titles.
I really think they're going to rebrand them to either a show or mold them in with the others.
Guess all the titles in question are women's titles right now.
What other titles are in question besides
SmackDown and Raw? They don't know what, like, are they just going to stay on different shows?
Yeah.
Are they just going to...
Yeah, figure that out,
swap
please.
them? Like,
figure that
how
out,
are they going to do
that messes with me. Like...
I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I get confused on what show I'm watching whenever they say SmackDown, but it's Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's me and I get confused easily, but...
Yeah, why did you do that? Just either... my solution is just rebrand the titles. Women's World Championship. WWE Women's Championship. Not that hard.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Yeah, because you like to kind of flip-flop people, so just get rid of the show.
Yeah, just take the show's name out.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and you could do the same thing with the tag titles, the World Tag Team titles, the WWE Tag Team titles. Take the names of the show out of it, and then you don't have this problem.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, and then you can get rid of the red and blue straps, and you could do something nice. Personally, I would like to see more use of the mahogany strap that the North American Championship uses. I think that would look pretty nice. And then the last one, Grayson Waller had a video package.
Yes.
Can't wait for Grayson Waller to start
love
feuding with
Grayson
people.
Waller.
I say right now, put Grayson Waller in the ladder match as well for the Money in the Bank. Put Grayson Waller in there.
Yeah, why not?
Do it.
Why not?
So that kind of takes care of main roster stuff. So now I think we can kind of segue into NXT. So the Women's Championship is continuing to be contested in the tournament. I was loud ass wrong because I said the finals were going to be Roxanne and Cora Jade.
I was convinced Roxanne was going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, and our finalists are Lyra Valkyria and Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton winning clean over Roxanne nonetheless.
Yeah.
That shocked the hell out of me. But yeah,
yes.
Yeah, strap the rocket to Tiffany. Go ahead. Roxanne's going to have more chances.
I like that it wasn't the predictable women, and I like that it was showcasing different women. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I will agree that probably Roxanne and Cora Jade are probably like the bigger names, so they could have definitely gone that route. But NXT's more experimental. They're like, you know what? Let's let the women that aren't as like big named, you know, to like have them there do their thing.
Yeah.
I think Tiffany Stratton's gonna win.
I do too. I think that's why they're doing the injury angle with Lyra Valkyria. I think it's giving a reason for Tiffany Stratton to win.
And I'm okay with that.
And not like damage Lyra.
I'm okay with that. I like Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, I do too. Tiffany Stratton she's almost main roster ready, I feel like.
But she
almost
herself, though, is very self-aware, and she said that she doesn't think she is.
No.
Because she doesn't know, she needs to practice more in the ring chemistry.
Yeah.
And
I think after another year of NXT, she'll be good. She'll be good for next year's draft.
I think she's there talent-wise in the ring, but I get that if she wants to, she doesn't feel comfortable, she's not going to be 100%, so.
I think she'll be ready by next year's draft, though, if not before.
Yeah.
And I think a run with the title will help her with all those things.
Yeah.
So for the North American Championship that I mentioned earlier with the beautiful mahogany strap, Wesley, I don't understand why Wesley's pissed off. I don't understand. So his whole thing is like, Tyler Bate wanted a shot. Everybody has wanted a shot. Do you not remember the brawls that happened when you offered shots?
Yeah.
Tyler Bate's a dude that's a good wrestler,
yes,
and he wants a title. And I know Wesley's whole thing is, why didn't he mention that from the beginning? Maybe because that wasn't his first goal. Maybe he was like, hey, I'll be this guy's friend. And then one day he was like, oh shit, this guy has a title. I'd kind of like to have that. Maybe that was the original plan. You know, by wrestling logic, Tyler Bate can say these things and it would probably gloss everything over. But this is wrestling. We have to not say anything and just let people jump to conclusions, and that's where we get our feud. Wrestling.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I don't.
End of rant.
But no, Wesley, you've been handing out title opportunities this whole time. You were cool with Axiom doing this shit.
Yes, he was. That's who I think of as Axiom.
So Wesley, the character, grow the fuck up.
Oh god.
And Joe Gacy's just poking the bear as well.
Oh
on that one.
yeah.
So after that, we have Gallus and the Creeds. Gallus makes me sleepy.
I know. And Creed brothers make me sleep. They both put me to sleep.
Like, I will not deny they are talented.
Yes.
They're not exciting for me.
I will agree. Like, if I like their type of wrestling, I would love it. But I like flippy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our podcast is literally called Fliggers.
It's Fliggers.
Figures and flippy shit. So I just don't like. Plus, one acts like a gorilla walking into the ring. I just cannot stand behind that.
See, I enjoy that because I think of Donkey Kong. And it cracks me up.
I can't. I'm just like, why are you a gorilla? Why are you doing this?
He's like a gorilla and the Hulk because he's always like Brutus smash like.
Oh, I've never heard him say that.
That's why he does that because it looks like the Hulk when he does his ground and pound.
So he's not even being a gorilla?
Dude, that is such a dirty term in wrestling. The ground and pound. Like, that's so dirty.
Wait, so He's not a gorilla. Let's focus on this.
He's like part gorilla, part the Hulk.
Oh, wow. I still don't understand it. It's like Dijak. I don't understand Dijak right now either.
I'm telling you. Watch an 80s Stallone or an 80s Schwarzenegger movie, and you will know exactly what Dijak's about.
I just can't.
Or 80s Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell would fall in there too.
I've been in the room when like you and your brother's been watching them. And then I leave rather quickly.
He's a street justice guy. Like he's like I think he's like part.
I'd like it better if he was a prison guard, like I thought he was.
That's Big Boss Man. That's gimmick infringement.
But isn't he just copying 80s movies?
But that's not a gimmick. That's not somebody's gimmick.
Well, fine. Well, but everybody copies everybody.
We'll get into Dijak in a minute because there's stuff going down with him as well. So talking about two teams that don't really do much for you, let's talk about somebody that has done something for you. Let's talk about Mr. Noam Dar.
I do love Noam Dar.
I
love his
wonderfully
hair.
obnoxious.
I did my hair like him today, actually.
Oh man!
But
now we just need to give you a big cup to carry around and cradle.
I love his.
All we have for you is a cat.
Oh my god! I could dress up as Noam Dar on the Jericho Cruise.
Oh my god! I would give you $100 if you did that.
It would be my own money though.
Yeah, we could put like stubble on you. Like we could make this work.
Oh, God.
We could make this work. We'll get you one of his tie-dye tracksuits.
I didn't want to go that far. I just wanted to have the pigtails, because his outfit always looks pretty comfortable.
If you're going to be
that's all I wanted to do.
If you're going to be Noam Dar, you take it all the way.
I'm not doing the stubble.
Why?
Because
disappointment. Disappointment. But anyway, Noam Dar had a match with Nathan Frazier this week. It was pretty good.
It was.
I really like Noam Dar's wrestling style.
I really like Noam Dar.
I haven't seen him wrestle in a long time, but I like his style because he has like little quick burst movements, like his forearms. Like he kind of puts a little like stutter step in them.
Oh my god! Be careful! Don't accidentally hit me.
I'm not. I went over here. But no, I really like Noam Dar's wrestling style. And I think him and Dragon Lee could be the sleeper match of Battleground.
Yeah.
That could be match of the day, match of the night. Yeah. And it would not surprise me.
No.
So we're going to pivot back to Dijak now. There was the first use of pivot. You just don't understand what's going on with Dijak and Dragunov.
I don't. I don't get it. I don't get why this is so great to you.
Okay, let me put it in a term that I think that you'll understand. It's a pissing contest. Essentially, who's more hard ass?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a pissing match of who's more hard ass. Does that make you understand it a little better?
Yeah, doesn't make me more invested at all with that example, or explanation.
No,
but I understand it. I suppose.
At least you know. At
least you know.
It's basically what's weird. Okay, so what's weird is Dragunov's Russian, and his name kind of makes me think of Ivan Drago from Rocky IV, which is a Stallone movie, which I compared Dijak to. But Drago's the villain. And Dragunov's the babyface in this. So there's kind of like a Rocky IV going on with the roles reversed because Dijak in appearance looks more like Ivan Drago.
Yeah. That made me yawn.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
I just yawned. I just realized that I just yawned during that.
I need to remember that, like, when I'm referencing movies and stuff, like, you're lost. You're lost in the shuffle.
Oh man.
You're lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
So speaking of dramatic things that happened, Tony D'Angelo, I guess, is officially under arrest.
What? Like, this is a little too soap opera and not enough wrestling for me with him. That's the one thing I just do not like right now on NXT is this Tony D'Angelo stuff.
Yeah. And I know, like, a lot of people think it's related to Gallus because they wanted to challenge Gallus. What I think would make it more interesting is if it was Stax that set him up.
Well, Gallus did set him up. They said that, didn't they? Didn't they admit to it, basically?
They didn't outright admit to it, but they were just kind of like, fortunate that happened. But I think it would be interesting if, like, it got down to the nitty-gritty and Gallus was like, yeah, it is interesting, but we didn't do it. I think it'd be cool if it was Stax.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Maybe Stax is so lost right now without him.
He's helping. He's standing up for the Creeds. And he wanted to be in their corner, and the Creeds are like, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah.
I think that's gonna bite them in the ass. But I think it would be interesting if Stax set him up. But the story's not really there for it because there hasn't been any hints of dissension. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony D'Angelo's in jail apparently. The other things that are going on in NXT,
Gigi and JC Jane.
They're going to have a weaponized steel cage match. And is that tonight or is that Wednesday? Or Tuesday? I want to say it's tonight.
I think it's tonight.
Okay.
I know that I'm pretty pumped. I think that's just like the perfect match for them because they always end up bleeding.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well just
embrace it at this point. You know they're going to probably end up bleeding, so just give them a match where it's brutal enough for them to actually bleed.
Yeah.
Breed.
You want them to breed? Oh,
bleed.
My.
I keep messing up my words.
Oh my. And the last thing that's kind of going on is I think Scripps is dead.
Yeah, he came back as Reggie.
Yeah, and he got a big response from the crowd.
So the crowd likes him, just not Scripps.
Yeah, but Axiom doesn't trust him because he tried to come in and help out Axiom because Axiom got squashed by Dabba-Kato. Dabba-Kato is somebody else that's like, what are you doing with him?
Yeah, I never remember him when he comes out.
Let him fight Dijak. Let him do that.
Sure.
Dude, that would be like an 80s action movie because Dabba-Kato would be like the big fucking hulking henchman kind of thing, but he's not a henchman for anybody because Apollo Crews is gone.
That sounds so exciting.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
More 80s movies. No, what was it? More 80s action movies?
Yes.
80s action movies.
80s action movies involving either Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, or Kurt Russell. One of those. So I think that pretty much covers NXT. I can't really think of anything. Oh, Braun and Carmelo. We didn't talk about that.
God.
Not much to say. They're going to fight tonight at Battleground. Braun has the best spear in the game. I think Melo's going to retain. But it wouldn't honestly shock me if they put the title back on Braun for him to go on a heel run.
Yeah.
But I think Carmelo should retain because I think that you need to start getting Braun ready for the main roster. But I think this little heel run that he's on could be nice. You could have him dethrone Wes Lee and have him go on a run with the North American title for a little bit if you want. But I think it's time for the NXT title to be on someone else.
Yeah.
So that takes care of NXT. Once again, NXT is this little experimental hot ground. Did you see where Chase U has new shirts that like promote like Duke Hudson's Chase U? So I don't think anything happened with Chase U this week, but
no,
something,
I don't think so.
Something's coming. Andre Chase will be back soon, probably after Battleground, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that takes care of NXT. So let's talk about AEW, and then let's finish it up.
Okay.
All right, so AEW this week, not a whole lot happened because it's kind of the go home for Double or Nothing, but there are some notes. The Pillars each had a segment on AEW.
Yes.
MJF cut a promo. Yes. I think they all cut a promo at one point. Darby got kicked in the nuts by MJF because, I'm waiting for one of these days. Like in WCW, there was a segment where Goldberg speared everyone. That was his thing. There was one point that Goldberg speared Bret Hart, and Goldberg got hurt, and Bret Hart had a steel plate under his shirt.
Oh.
So somebody needs to, wear a cup or, something, like a steel cup, maybe, for MJF to kick him in the nuts and nothing to happen.
Right, AEW definitely likes to pay home...
Homage.
Thank you.
When you started to say that word, I saw the sparks coming out of your ears.
I froze. I was like, what do I do? I can't just abort this word.
Homage.
Yes.
Homage. So yeah, but I think that's something that could play off down the road. I'm surprised somebody like CM Punk didn't already do that, but
I mean, he might.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I don't think we've seen the last of Punk and MJF because I think before Punk got hurt and before he tried to burn the company down, I think they wanted to kind of revisit that feud with MJF as champion. But there's been a lot of theories about that. There's a lot of people said that Eddie Kingston was going to take the title off MJF. I don't think that's going to happen. As awesome as that would be.
That would be awesome.
As awesome as that would be, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to take it off of him at this point. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be any of the Pillars, though. It's been way too early. He's going to hold that thing. He's going to hold that thing all the way up to contract time, I think. And then I think they're going to do what WWE did with CM Punk in 2011, where CM Punk pretty much told WWE, I'm going to win the world title and take it elsewhere. And then he won the match, and he was gone for a week, and he came back the next week. So WWE kind of got cold feet on that story. But how fun would that be to have, that was what people thought was going to happen, was that CM Punk's going to show up at the WWE title in Ring of Honor. That would have, blown people's minds. But AEW plays well enough with others that they could do that, but I don't know that they would do that with WWE.
No.
I think MJF's already renewed his contract. I think it's all story at this point.
Yeah, I don't, the whole, whenever he went back to the whole, I'm going to leave, I was like, oh, we're going back to this again.
Well, what's funny is we didn't talk about that while it seemed like Vince was coming back and Vince was going to take over. We kind of stopped that. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh.
And now that, like, WWE is appearing competent and people are like, well, it's competent, so Vince can't have that much say. Yeah. Now we're bringing it back.
Oh. I just hate it, though. Like,
I'm not a big fan of that angle either. I'm not a big fan of the, you want to be the champion of the brand, but you don't want to be there.
It was great shock value at first because of, like, how far he would go whenever he would say things.
Yeah, but now it kind of feels like we're beating a dead horse.
I know. Now it's like, yeah, we get it. You could go wherever you want. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. We know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We know it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. I think the Pillars will be a good match. I've seen a lot of people catch flack. Double or Nothing is one of the lowest ticket sale pay-per-views they've had. It's still better than like 4 or 5 of them. But a lot of people are chalking that up to like the Pillars just not being ready for the main event. And it's like, eventually you got to throw them in. Like, what are you losing?
What's wrong with them? I've been enjoying this. I think it's been a very good build. It's been a consistent build. They've been featured every single week, further building the story.
See, here's my thing.
Isn't that what you guys wanted, was storylines with AEW, and now you get it, and you're still bitching. You're fickle. Just kidding.
Here's the thing. Is a year ago, it was, oh man, why are we pushing all the ex-WWE guys? What about the guys that got you there? So then we put the Pillars in the main event, everybody's like, oh, they're not ready. Pick a side. Do you want AEW to feature its homegrown talent or not? Because every time they do, you shit on it.
I'm just happy.
That's literally the storyline for the women. And granted, it does feel like that storyline's in neutral. I will give you that.
Yeah.
But they are at least trying to tell a story that the homegrown people are just as important as the people that came in after, which is what everybody wanted. But now that we're doing it, everybody's like, hate it.
Haters go to hate, according to Jamie Hayter.
Oh man, I hope Jamie Hayter's good to go for Double or Nothing. I hope she's good to go.
Yeah, I mean, because they said she is injured, but they said she's still, oh my god, she's still able to compete. I am a struggling mess right now.
It's her and Toni Storm, and the last time they got together, it went pretty well.
They had that was a really good fight.
I was underplaying.
Oh.
I was like, it went well.
Oh, like Toni Storm's nose. I love when women bleed in matches. I love it. So like her nose was busted, she was bleeding, and I was like, oh, just love this shit when they bleed.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this week we didn't even really have any progression with the Outcast stories other than that, because Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida teamed up on Rampage, but they fought Marina Shafir and Nyla Rose, who aren't really doing anything with anybody on TV. I know they were pretty featured on Dark and Dark Elevation, which is gone now. But I mean, it was nice to have Nyla Rose back on TV. I'm always down for Nyla Rose on TV.
I do.
Always down for that.
Same here.
I really enjoyed the feud she had with Jade.
I did too.
That's my favorite feud that Jade's had.
Yeah. I feel like I want to say that my favorite is with Taya, Valkyrie. I get them confused with the NXT girl.
Yeah.
Even though I know that Taya's been around for a lot longer. But I just cannot, I get confused. But I wish that I could say that was my favorite feud. I feel like if maybe, it's just not booked in a very good way to me. Like, I don't know. I think
the story's there with the stolen finisher and Taya being a threat. I think the story's there. I think the problem is... Let go. I think the problem is that AEW has something good with Jade, but they... You've got to give Jade longer than a minute in the ring.
Yeah.
Her weakness is the in-ring stuff, so you need to give her a longer match.
I really hope that she loses at Double or Nothing and that she goes to New Japan to kind of work on her skills.
Yeah. I mean, Mercedes is down with a broken ankle for a few weeks. Go put Jade there and let Jade tear it up with them and let them show Jade what she can do.
Yeah.
Because I think if you can get Jade to match the in-ring ability with her presentation, she's a superstar.
Yeah.
But you got to get her to that level, and you're not going to get her to that level by having her do 30-second squashes every week.
Yeah.
Hell, you gave Taya Valkyrie a competitive match, but she already knows how to wrestle. She didn't need it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. So yeah, we can cross off a couple things that we went early in. Let's talk about FTR and Mark Briscoe. So Mark Briscoe's a little pissed off at FTR.
He's mad at everybody.
He is. He's mad at everybody. He's literally like, leave me the hell alone.
Yes.
Like, but he told Jay Lethal, he's like, you're my boy. I don't give a damn about everybody else in your stable.
I was gonna say, yeah. Because he yelled at Dax and like it was just he actually slaps Dax in the face. Mm-hmm. Mark slaps him.
Yeah. And what's funny is I don't think Mark Briscoe's turning heel. I think Mark Briscoe is just
had
tired.
Enough. He's had enough.
Tired. Yes. He's got bigger shit he wants to do. He
he literally told Jay he's getting tired of the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah. That you know what?
Everybody's fighting over him. He's tired of it.
You know what? And Mark Briscoe being tired of the bullshit, that's a vibe, man. That's a vibe. Being just tired of all the bullshit. All of it. But no, I will never turn down Mark Briscoe on my TV.
Yeah.
He entertains the absolute shit out of me. Yes. And he doesn't even have to say anything to do it. Just the way he looks around, the way he's presented. Mark Briscoe brings me joy. I wish I would have seen more of the Briscoe stuff sooner. Because I feel like I'm late to the party. But I guess it's better to be here at the party that loves Mark Briscoe than to have never showed up at all.
Depends on who you say that to, yes.
Fair enough. All right, so let's talk about the international title. So basically, because the TNT title was not mentioned this week, except for the fact that Wardlow and Christian are going to have a ladder match. We didn't get any Christian Cage this week. Boo, Tony Khan. More Christian Cage.
Yeah.
But OC is going to defend in the Blackjack Battle Royal, and we have
Orange Cassidy's OC.
Cassidy. So we have the announced participants for the Blackjack Battle Royal. I'm not going to list them all because, quite frankly, I don't remember who all of them are. But some of the key ones: Jay White's in there, Ricky Starks is in there, Keith Lee's in there, Swerve's in there. I know the Best Friends are in there. Dustin Rhodes is in there. OC did have a match this week with Kyle Fletcher, which was pretty good.
It was, yeah.
And it definitely seems like OC's running out of gas.
Oh, yeah. How is he going to win this thing?
I don't think he will.
I don't think so either. And what a shitty way for him to lose it, too.
I mean, it makes sense, though. Like, he took down everybody one-on-one, so it took the entire... But, see, here's the funny thing.
That's a good
Here's the funny thing. Here's where wrestling logic sometimes falls apart. What's going to happen, I guarantee you OC is going to be one of the last two. Mm-hmm. What should happen, in a logical sense, is all of those guys just throw Orange Cassidy out. Unless Orange Cassidy's the Joker and he's the last entrant. That might be able to justify them not just all teaming up on Orange Cassidy at once.
That's true.
So,
but wrestling logic, they won't.
No, they'll probably have him come out first.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't. He should be the Joker. He should come out last. So that way, it's because I know they're going to want him in the finals. But if you bring him out first and people don't just gang up and throw him over just to get the title off of him, that's going to stink.
But are Best Friends in it?
Yes.
So maybe Best Friends will help him out. At least a little bit.
Oh, maybe. Oh. We did a couple months ago. Trent was a little about it. What if Trent threw him out?
Will they break up Best Friends?
No, it would just break Orange Cassidy off that group.
But would it even make Orange Cassidy mad? It's Orange Cassidy, man. I don't know how he would respond.
I mean, it would be a cool facet of the character to throw something at him like that to see how he'd react. That would flesh out his character.
Yeah.
Because we've never seen him in that situation.
No.
The most we've seen him in that situation is when he feuded with Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
That was the most that we saw of that. But to have somebody outright betray him like that, like Trent, I think that would give a new interesting dimension to his character to see how he'd respond to that.
Have Best Friends been heels before, I wonder? They had to at some point. That was a stupid question.
I'm sure they have.
I was going to say, because they could have them be heels and maybe push them.
Yeah. And then, once again, don't do this, but for my own enjoyment, let's have a segment during the 0 hour where Trent's talking it over with Sue. Once again,
mother.
Don't do that.
Gosh, Mama Sue.
Yeah. So the trios titles are going to be on the line at Double or Nothing, and it's in an open challenge match. Okay, so Tony Khan, We gotta talk. So, it's an open challenge match. In a match where the challengers get to pick one of the stipulations. So if it's an open challenge, how the hell do they submit that stipulation that they want? Do they just go to Julia before the match and say, Julia, we want to do this, and then she makes it official? Like, is she the notary of House
Last
of Black?
time they talked to Renee Paquette and it was official, remember? Who was it? Best Friends did it or something.
Something like that. But then on Rampage, the Acclaimed outright called out House of Black. So it's an open challenge, but you have to pick a stipulation. The Acclaimed are clearly down. So why not just announce House of Black versus the Acclaimed Daddy Ass?
Are they not fighting at Double or Nothing? I thought they were.
It's implied, but it's not official because AEW right now is still pushing that the House of Black match is an open challenge match.
Oh.
Just book the Acclaimed Daddy Ass and get their stipulation out of the way.
Yeah.
And there you go. Maybe that's what they'll do on the buy-in. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see. Because I think right now the buy-in only has one match, and that's Ethan Page and the Guns against the Hardys and Hook.
Yeah.
To get Ethan Page's contract. And I said it last week. I've enjoyed this ride with the Hardys, but I'm ready for Ethan Page to do something else.
Right, yeah, I agree. But I was just thinking, I was like, man, think how cool it is, though, if you are a younger wrestler like Hook. I know Ethan Page is like in his 30s, but he's younger than the Hardys. He said he was a fan of them. Mm-hmm. So think how cool it is, though, that you get to like work with the Hardys.
But he's been working with them for months.
Well, yeah, but it's okay.
I feel like it's just me thinking this should have ended at the deletion match.
I mean, I do agree.
It's where it should have ended.
I do agree, but
and that's not just because of my idea that I pitched for Shattered Ego Ethan Page.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't agree with you. All I'm saying is I'm putting myself in their shoes, like I do sometimes to a fault, and I would love life.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, for me, I just feel like Ethan Page is meant for bigger things.
I agree.
I personally think that Ethan Page should have been in the Casino Battle Royal.
I agree with that.
And should have been one of the final 2 or 3. That's what I would have done with him.
Yeah.
But I'm also a big Ethan Page mark, so I'm always going to want Ethan Page to do good things. Yes. But at least I'm not pitching that he should beat MJF, because I don't think he should. But as a great foil for Orange Cassidy, yes. Let's see. So non-title stuff. So Cole and Jericho are going to have their unsanctioned match, Double or Nothing. And Cole just called in Sabu. And Sabu's going to be like the enforcer of the match. We saw Sabu on the cruise. He seemed like a really nice guy.
He did, yeah. We literally ate beside him one day. And
yeah. And I saw something where they asked Sabu if he was willing to take a bump, and he said something like, if the price is right, hell yeah, or something like that. So,
I mean, you do you. If the price is right.
Wrestling never change.
Yeah.
Never change.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, I too, like, I don't understand how, like, I give all the kudos in the world to the people in the indies that go out there for next to nothing and go out there and just beat the hell out of their body.
Yeah.
Like the Rise show that we went to a couple weeks ago. Like,
yeah.
Those guys probably are getting paid hardly anything compared to, what you see on TV. And those dudes are going just as hard. They're, going even harder in some cases. So, all the credit in the world to the independent wrestlers that go out there and do it just because they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I know they want to get seen and they want to make the big money, but still, like, it takes a lot to go out there and do it for nothing in the hopes that you'll get noticed. So,
yeah.
All the kudos in the world to the independent wrestlers.
You got off topic again, I feel like.
Kind of. No, Sabu took me there with the Price is Right, I'll bump.
Okay.
And then the last thing we'll talk about, we'll wrap up with AEW, is the Elite Blackpool Combat Club.
What is that face for?
I'm trying to remember if anything officially happened or if Moxley just cut that really kick-ass promo.
Well, the Bucks interfered in the Lucha Brothers versus Claudio and Nina match.
That's right, because the Ring of Honor tag titles were on the line.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about that match. That match was fun.
Yes.
But it was the Lucha Brothers. The Lucha Brothers to me equals fun.
Yeah, so like the Lucha Brothers
They're
did
in the Casino Battle Royal.
Okay.
And so is Commander.
Okay. Well, Lucha Brothers did retain the Ring of Honor tag team titles, though, but then Moxley comes out and all hell breaks loose.
Moxley pretty much told them in so many words, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
Yes. So I'm very pumped for this match.
I'm ready for the car crash. I'm ready for Moxley to just spray blood like a yard sprinkler.
I'm not looking forward to that because I I don't know.
I look forward.
I like blood, but not too much blood.
I look forward to watching Bryan Danielson take bumps, and I'm like, oh my god, don't break him.
Yeah, I don't like whenever he takes bumps, and I feel like he's gonna have to stop wrestling immediately.
I think he doesn't wrestle that much.
Like after his match with MJF, and he was all battered and bruised. Yeah. I was like, oh,
he hasn't wrestled
a
match since then. That's the last match he wrestled.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So he's giving him time.
So they are giving him time to heal.
Yeah.
He's definitely becoming the in case of emergency break glass option. He literally went from 60-minute Iron Man to Anarchy in the Arena. So I feel like, and Danielson has said this is the last contract that he's signed. He's done after this. So I understand he's saving himself and just showing up for big matches to put over talent.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Same.
I will never, Bryan Danielson, when he hangs it up, he'll be missed.
For sure.
He will be missed.
I know, I've said before, I greatly am sad that I didn't get to experience, because before AEW, my only experience of watching him was on WWE, and it was a much watered down version of the Bryan Danielson that everybody else got to know.
I still stick with the Planet's Champion was one of my favorite things that was going on at that time.
You just like that he told off a kid.
No, it's not even that. It's just the fact that he was so correct about what was going on, but he was being such a dick about it.
It's true. That's where I get my fickle from. Anytime I say fickle, it's from him.
He's the king of one-word catchphrase.
Amateurs.
Yes. Fickle, amateurs. He's the king.
Listen, he knows that wrestling fans, don't give us a lot.
LA Knights figured it out with
Yeah, just give us one thing that's really catchy, and we will repeat it.
Yeah, look at Stone Cold, the what chant still lives.
Goddamn.
Fuck the what chant.
What? We just got so angry.
We did. So that's going to cover the week of wrestling. Like we said, this weekend you got Night of Champions. If you want to watch it, it's 1 o'clock on Saturday. If you're watching this on Sunday on YouTube, it's already happened. NXT Battleground is tomorrow night at the same time as Double or Nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch Double or Nothing on Sunday live, and then we're going to watch Battleground Monday morning because it's holiday weekend. We don't got to work. Yay.
3-day weekend.
Yes. So,
baby,
go out there. Enjoy the wrestling. There's lots of it this weekend. From what we understand, Ring of Honor's putting on good television. New Japan, from what I understand, just finished up a great pay-per-view called Resurgence, where the main event was a 6-man match, and Moxley and Okada were involved.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, and the crowd exploded when those two interacted.
Was it planned?
Yeah, it's a 6-man
Did you say Impact?
No, New Japan, Resurgence.
See, that's why I was so thrown. I was like, he was on Impact?
No, New Japan.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah, New Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's tons of good wrestling out there. Go find it. Go watch it. Go support your indie promotions. Those guys that are bumping around for a hot dog and a handshake. Go find them.
I know it's definitely been a couple weeks since we went to Rise, and I can say the wrestlers that really stuck out to me, because I'm terrible with names. So there was Cowpoke Paul.
Yeah.
Tyler Vox. Brad Boys.
Okay.
And I don't remember the guy's name, but he was my favorite the whole night. With the Lakers.
The Great Alexander.
The Great Alexander. He is just my favorite. I love the Great Alexander.
Yeah, well, he is pretty hilarious.
He is.
I
feel like he's definitely going to be big at some point.
Maybe. I don't know.
I can say, I'm calling out the Great Alexander is going to be big someday.
Okay.
Watch me be completely wrong, but I'm calling it.
I'm
no William Regal, but
Yeah. But that's going to do the show this week. Go watch all the wrestlings. Danhausen, come back soon.
He did this really fun question and answer where I literally went through, because he said he was stuck in traffic on Twitter. So I literally,
Danhausen?
Yeah. So I literally went through all the responses and just to see what he responded to everybody, because you never know what you're going to get with him. And it didn't disappoint.
Of course not. But Danhausen got hurt at Revolution? So he's probably out at least another 3 months. He might be back for...
I saw on Twitter he told people 100 years. He told somebody, yes. Somebody's like, how long are you out? Yes. And then, yeah.
I feel like he's going to be on Collision.
Probably, because he keeps talking about CM Punk. That's all he tweets about is CM Punk.
Yeah. So I wonder if they're going to put those two together.
I mean, God damn it. I am so conflicted because I love Danhausen. I hate CM Punk. So, like, how am I going to play this one?
I don't know. But
I'm going to have to close one eye so I can close the eyelets on CM Punk but still watch.
You could
borrow, that would work.
You could borrow a Hangman's eye patch.
Yeah, so I can just have my eye on Danhausen.
Yeah.
Sure. Because that would work.
Yeah, that's logical. All right, we'll talk to you guys next weekend. Go enjoy the wrestling.
Did you like that video? Like, subscribe, and comment to the Figures and Flippy Shit Wrestling Podcast. Oh yeah!
But OC is going to defend against in the
Orange
Blackjack Battle
Cassidy.
Royal, and we have
Orange Cassidy's
Orange
OC.
Cassidy. Yeah, not AJ Styles' stable, and not the Adam Brody show. Or is it Adam Brody that's on OC?
I can't remember.
Peter Gallagher is. I know that. I'll go with Peter Gallagher.
And that Benjamin guy that was on
Gotham.
that wasn't that good of an actor.
Yeah. Watch him on Gotham, man. He's trying to be tough. We're getting off base.
Dude, that was the same acting set he had on the OC because he was this kid from the wrong side of the tracks. So he's always trying to act like a better guy than he was.
Well, I think Gotham suffers from the same curse that Batman himself does. Is like Batman on paper should be interesting, but his villains are just so much more interesting. But that's way off course. But anyway, for the international title, I mean, no, you could tie that into wrestling because the baby faces aren't as interesting as the heels.
That's very true.
So there's your wrestling connection.
Somebody that just sits there and smiles at me is so boring. Give me somebody that like
Raquel.
Raquel.
That's what you always say about Raquel.
Because she just smiles and flexes her back muscles. Bitch, I get it. You have really good back muscles and you have a pretty smile. I get it.
So anyway.
She could still beat me up.
The Blackjack Battle Royal. That has nothing to do with Raquel.
She could still murder me.
Or Batman, or Ben McKenzie.
That's his name.
Yeah. Didn't we already establish that?
I didn't hear you say it.
Oh my,
I missed it.
I said we were going to get this video under an hour, but if we keep going on these tangents, that ain't going to happen.